The film opens in a maximum security federal prison in Colorado, where an inmate named Ray Breslin is warned by another prisoner that someone named Jax intends to fight him. As predicted, Jax confronts Ray the next day, but Ray quickly gains the upper hand and defeats him. Due to the disruption, the guards place Ray in the prison's high-security isolation unit, a small, windowless cell equipped only with a toilet and constantly monitored by security cameras. His only permitted possession is a Bible. Ray soon begins plotting an escape. He's already studied the prison layout and discovered that the isolation area is adjacent to the fire garage. He also notes that the facility is understaffed, making escape more feasible. By observing the guards, he learns that they take a 7-minute smoke break at the same time every day. With this intel, Ray determines the ideal time and method for escape. Next, he needs to unlock his cell door. Using a thin layer of plastic peeled from his chocolate milk container, he captures the fingerprints left on the keypad and deduces the passcode. He contacts his team outside the prison and arranges for a distraction at 4 p.m. on his escape day. When the moment comes, as the guards step out for their break, Ray uses the code to exit his cell, crawls through a vent into the fire garage, and escapes unnoticed by hitching a ride under a fire truck responding to the distraction. Outside, he reconnects with his teammates Abigail and Hush, who drop him off at a phone booth. Police soon arrive and detain him. Before Ray is taken back to prison, a man named Lester Clark intervenes and convinces the authorities to release him. Later, Ray and Lester meet with the prison's warden, where it's revealed that Ray is actually the founder of a security firm, Breslin Clark, which evaluates the security of prisons by attempting to escape from them. Known as the man who can break out of any facility, Ray gives the warden feedback on improving the prison's security. Returning to his office after 5 months, Ray reunites with Abigail and Hush. Lester informs him that CIA operative Jessica Miller wants him to assess a covert prison designed for people who've disappeared. The catch: neither Ray nor his team can know the prison's location. Though hesitant, Ray agrees after Lester urges him to accept. He's given a false identity as Anthony Portos, a Spanish mercenary. Before his departure, Abigail attaches a tracking device to Ray's arm. However, Ray is soon abducted and drugged. His captors remove the tracker to maintain the prison's secrecy. He wakes up inside a glass cell on a raised platform surrounded by similar cells. Surveillance cameras constantly monitor the inmates. Soon after, Ray meets Warden Hobbs, who introduces himself despite Ray being told the warden's name was Marsh. Suspicious, Ray cites his emergency evacuation code, but Hobbs ignores it, treating Ray like a real prisoner. Outside, Abigail and Hush begin searching for Ray. Meanwhile, inside, Ray is warned by an inmate named Emil not to get killed. Emil claims he's innocent and that he's being held because someone wants intel about his boss, Mannheim. Ray starts to suspect the prison isn't a government facility but a place where wealthy individuals imprison and torture their enemies. To investigate further, Ray and Emil stage a fight to be sent to the isolation chamber, which is actually a torture cell. Inside, the temperature is unbearably high, designed to disorient and dehydrate inmates using halogen lights. The warden watches them suffer through the cameras. The next day, prison doctor Dr. Kyrie visits Ray. Though sympathetic, he refuses to disclose their location. After being released, Ray discovers that the chamber's floor is made of steel rivets instead of secure aluminum. He asks Emil to find a metal plate to help remove them. During another torture session, Emil enrages the warden and gets a pipe forced down his throat, but he manages to retrieve the metal piece. In exchange, he demands to know Ray's plan. Ray reveals he believes the prison is underground and that by removing the bolts and moving upward, they might reach the surface. Convinced, Emil agrees to help. They repeat their fight to return to isolation, where Ray discreetly begins loosening the rivets while staying out of view. He signals Emil to create a distraction by screaming, while Ray disables the camera using a spitball. He escapes through a vent but accidentally breaks a pipe, flooding the chamber. Outside, he discovers the prison is aboard a massive cargo ship in the ocean and quickly retreats before being seen. The flooding distracts the guards, letting him return unnoticed. Back on land, Abigail and Hush confront Lester after discovering Ray's payment check has bounced and Jessica is unreachable. Lester dismisses their concerns, but once they leave, he contacts the warden and orders Ray to be kept imprisoned permanently. Lester wants full control of the company. Despite this, Abigail and Hush persist. Hush learns of an illicit facility called the Tomb, where people secretly imprison enemies. Though he doesn't locate it, this turns out to be where Ray is held. Meanwhile, Ray and Emil try to study the guards' movements, which proves difficult since they all wear identical masks. To determine their global location, Ray constructs a crude sextant from cardboard and enlists Muslim inmate Javed Afridi to help. Pretending to be a warden's informant, Afridi asks to pray outside. Granted the request, he uses the sextant and figures out there near Morocco in the Atlantic Ocean. Emil says he has a friend in Morocco who owes him a favor. Ray convinces the doctor to secretly email their location. On escape day, Afridi feeds the warden false intel about a riot in another block. Most guards are diverted, leaving Babylon minimally guarded. Ray starts a real riot, and amidst the chaos, he, Emil, and Afridi head toward the deck. The warden initiates lockdown, sealing the doors, but Emil's allies arrive in helicopters, and a gunfight ensues. Afridi is shot and urges Emil to leave without him. Ray rushes to the control room, cuts the power, and reopens the deck doors. Guards find and kill Afridi, but Emil reaches the deck and boards the helicopter. Ray, however, hides in a water tank and escapes by flushing himself into the sea. Emil spots him struggling and lowers a ladder. Ray grabs it and, while ascending, shoots the ship's oil tanks, triggering an explosion that kills the warden and guards. The duo flies off and lands on the Moroccan coast, where Jessica awaits. Ray is shocked to learn she is Emil's daughter. Emil, whose real identity is Mannheim, had faked his name to avoid detection. Jessica had orchestrated Ray's imprisonment to break her father out. Jessica also reveals that Lester collaborated with the warden, planning to trap Ray permanently so he could take over the business. After learning of Ray's success, Lester tries to flee, but Abigail and Hush capture him.